going to do another video, and today's video is going to be about where's your guess? Because today's video is going to be about living organisms. It's like the chapter 9 science of 6th grade. So let's go into the video. So this is the presentation that I have made on, but this is a presentation of living organisms and their surroundings. And a special thanks to my ma'am who had given this to me. So let's learn about organism, living creature. Now, living organisms are found everywhere on Earth. They can be found in the polar regions, in the forests, up in the air, under the water, in grasslands, near volcanoes, and under earth, under the land, and even in deserts. Now let's learn what is a habitat. Now, the natural living place of an organism is its habitat. Like for us, land is our habitat. We cannot live anywhere else. Now, an organism depends on its habitat for food, water, air, and shelter, etc. Whatever the necessary things it needs, it actually depends on the habitat. Now, several kinds of organisms are found in a single habitat. It cannot be only one organism in each habitat, because on land also we can find many organisms living. So yeah, let's just go with it. Now let's learn what is adaptation. Now, the presence of special features which enable an organism to live in its surroundings is called its adaptation. Now, adaptation could be that, now in the further slides, we're going to learn what is adaptation. Actually, we already learned what is adaptation in the before slide. Now we're going to learn how are the different kind of adaptations and why do they have to adapt to that particular kind of thing. So first, let's learn about a terrestrial habitat. Now, if the habitat is land, it is called terrestrial habitat. Now, we are living on terrestrial habitat. Elephants, all animals, mostly animals, not all, because there are even animals underwater, also underground. So yeah. Now, examples of terrestrial habitats are desert, forest, grassland, mountains, polar regions, etc. Now, first let's learn about desert. So this is a desert. Desert is a very hot place where wherever you see, you only find sand. Now let's see a few of the desert plants. We can see desert plants such as cactus, agave, and date palm. Now let's learn desert plants. What are the adaptations of desert plants? Now, first adaptation is leaves are absent or reduced or modified into spines to reduce water loss by transpiration. Because if leaves are there for cactus, then already there is a water scarcity in desert, and now as there is a transpiration process in leaves, now it will be even more harder to keep the water inside it, because due to the transpiration a water loss happens, and due to that heavy heat also, maybe the leaves may dry up and fall. So then it leads to the death of the plant. Now, if this is happening, how can a cactus or anything desert plants stay there? So that's why these leaves are modified into spines to reduce the water loss, which is such important thing. Now, second thing is the adaptations of desert plants. It just continues. We have 5. So the second is the stem is green and does photosynthesis. So the photosynthesis happens in the stem, and the stem also stores water, so it is thick and fleshy. So the stem, you can see the cactus's stems, it's very thick and fleshy, but it's hard, you can see, right, the thing. In the before slide, the circle thing, that's its stem. So, as the stem is green and the photosynthesis happens in the stem, not in the leaves. And here, the stem stores water. So, due to the storage of water, it is thick and fleshy. You can see that's the stem of a cactus. Now, let's go with the fourth one. The fourth one is deep root system to collect maximum water from deep soil. Now, this is because the roots of a cactus, as you know, the rain is like a miracle in the desert. It doesn't happen very frequently. So that's why water loss is here, because the sun is up most of the time. Even though it is even cool at night, but still you cannot have water, right? So that's why there is not, you have oasis, but yeah. So plants can't go to the oasis and do something. So that's why the plant's roots, they are such long that the root system is such long that it goes deep into the ground and it collects maximum water from the soil, because it goes deep into the ground, not on the top. Like, how are the plants near in your garden? You give water every day, but in the for cactuses and all, the water is not present. No one gives them also, because water, first of all, when you go to the desert, for you itself the water is not at all sufficient. How can you give it to a cactus? So that's why the water, the cactus depends on itself, and it takes from the ground, and the roots, it depends on the roots for the water. So the roots just go such deep long, it goes into the deep soil so long that they get all the water from underground. Next, so let's go. Yeah, the fifth one is thick waxy layer on stem which prevents water loss. Now again, not only from plants, sorry, or not only from the leaves water loss can happen, even from the stem also it can happen, because here in cactus the water is in the stem. So that's why the stem has like a thick waxy coated layer on the stem, because this waxy coated layer is on the stem, because due to this waxy coating, it prevents water loss. You can see, you have to actually zoom in to see that, because as I showed you the before stem picture, you can just make it out. Now let's learn about adaptation in desert animals. Now we have done with the plants. Let's learn about animals. Now first, camel has long legs, and yeah, first of all, let's get to learn about the desert animals. Who live in the desert? First thing, when you desert animals, you go with camel. Now, this camel's first adaptation, and yeah, first of all, yeah, the animal camel. What else could be in the desert? Not only camel, we have even snakes, rats also in the desert. Now, first adaptation of this camel is that camel has long legs, and these long legs, it has to keep the body warm from the hot sand. Because if it has shorter legs, then how it is possible? Easily the heat will transport itself into the body. Due to its long legs, its body will be kept away from the hot sand. 2, it stores food as fat in its hump. It doesn't exactly store food in its hump. The fats in the food are in its hump. The fact that food is in its hump is completely no. That doesn't. It has fat in its hump, and that fat comes from the food it eats. Third is, it can store water in its body itself. It doesn't. Yeah, that's why we say that the camel can live without food and water at least for 6 months. I guess for 6 months, because I heard somewhere it's just 6 months. Now, hooves of a camel, well suited for walking on sand. The hooves of a camel are well suited for walking on a sand, because They have to walk on sand, as that is only the transportation there. Because rats and snakes, how can you transport, use them as a means of transport in the desert? First of all, the rat is so small, you cannot even climb, you cannot even keep your suitcase in it, sorry, on it. But a snake is dangerous, and first of all, it cannot walk, it has to slither on the ground. So yeah, so the camel is the only means of transport in a desert. So that's why this camel has hooves, which are well suited for walking on sand. Fifth one, it has long eyelashes. As I said, I guess I did say, or if I didn't, I'll just tell you. Because camel has two eyelashes, and one closes horizontally, one closes vertically. They have this because to prevent sand from falling into the ice or going into the ice. Because as sandstorms happen, desert and all, because of that, the sand may go. Oh my God. Yeah, the sand may go into it. So that's why they actually have long eyelashes, and that too they have two eyelashes, not one. I'll show you. See, look at their eyelashes. They are so big, and first of all, they have two eyelash. I mean, was I saying eyelashes? Sorry. It's not eyelashes. They have two eyelids. One closes horizontally, one closes vertically. That also helps to prevent sand from falling into the ice. Yeah. Next. That was actually the hoofs picture. Now, some animals remain in burrows during the day and come out at during the night. And those animals, what I was saying, are rats and snakes. They actually be in burrows because as they cannot tolerate the heat. And first of all, rat has very very small um, legs, so they cannot, protect them from the heat. So they actually dug burrows and they be there during the day. As at the night, as you all know, desert is cooler at night. They come out at night. Now let's learn about desert animals in burrows. Now these are all the desert animals in burrows. In the burrows, you can have rats, snakes. I already told you, right? That one. Now this is the first terrestrial habitat. Now let's go with the second terrestrial habitat, that is mountain regions. First, mountain trees grow in a conical pattern with sloping branches, which help snow to slide down. Look at the picture. It's actually grown in a conical pattern. Conical pattern, you don't understand, it's just a cone shaped pattern. It has sloping branches which helps the snow to slide down, because if the snow just covers it, then how can the leaves get anything, like just a little bit sunlight or whatever leaf. Now, two, they have needle-shaped leaves, which helps water and snow to slide down. Look at these are the needle-shaped leaves it has, because this needle-shaped leaves helps the water or snow and whatever to slide down, not stay on the leaf for permanently. Now let's learn about animals in mountain region. I didn't go more about the plants because plants are not found that much in the in the mountain regions, but animals, yeah, they do. First one is a snow leopard is in white color and can hide in the environment. Why do they have to hide in the environment? Because it's a predator, and predator, it has to hunt for its prey. Due to this, they have to hide, and as they are snow leopards, they are in white in color, so they can hide in the environment and easily have the ability to catch its prey. Two, it has thick fur to protect from the cold. If you have known, in the polar regions, the polar bears have big blubber underneath their body, like here. Here also, the snow leopard has thick fur to protect from the cold. Three, it has claws to prevent slipping on the surface of snow, because snow, it slips. If it is like in the form of a solid or something, it slips. So that's why they have claws, which helps to prevent slipping on the surface of snow. whenever it is hunting or something is happening, due to its claws, it would not have the thing to slip on the snow. See, that's a snow leopard. Now let's learn about mountain goat. Now first, thick white fur. That is actually white fur. I'm not saying, but fur is the most important adaptation every animal should have to live in a mountain region, because it is such cold there, and yeah, you have to protect the animal have to protect itself from the cold. So the first is most adaptation that mostly all animals living in that mountain region has is fur. And I don't not specifically white fur, it could be different. Okay. Two, it has strong hoofs for running up the rocky slopes. You can see that's a mountain goat. It has strong hoofs. Hoofs are, the parts down here. So yeah, that's helping for the running up the rocky slopes, because as this is the prey, it have to have the ability to run quickly. And if there are rocky slopes, how could it? So that's why it has these strong hoofs, which can help it for running up the rocky slopes. Next one, we are going to learn about yak. Now, this yak has long, thick fur. I told you, each and everything needs fur in a mountain if it's living in a mountain region. We also wear furry coats when sometimes, near to mountain region like Shimla. You go to Shimla, you can see most of the people wearing furry coats. So, the long, thick fur of yak protect it from severe cold in the winter season. Winter season, not every time it's winter. Yeah, as I told you, it cannot only be every time white, it can also be in different colors. It depends on the animal. The color depends on the animal. Now let's learn about the third one, grasslands. Now we're going to learn adaptations of a lion. So let's go. First thing it has is a light brown color, which helps to hide in the grassland. Why does it need to hide in the grassland? Same, exactly like a snow leopard. It has to hunt. It's a predator, so it has to hunt for animals. So for that, you cannot quickly go and hunt for an animal, because yeah, they also have they also can hear things. They also feel like, okay, something is happening here. We better run. So that's why it has this thing to camouflage itself, not exactly completely camouflaging, but it has the light brown color to at least camouflage itself to not be seen by the deer or whatever the prey is. Now, second is that it has long claws, now which can be withdrawn inside. Now, what do you mean inside, like ripping or something? Okay, eating, ripping the body of the deer or something like that. Now, third is both the eyes in front of the head gives correct idea about the location of the prey. Now, they have such good eyesight that they can have the correct idea about where the location of the prey is. So you can see that's a lion. Everyone knows how a lion looks. Now we have seen about lion. Let's see the prey of the lion, which is deer. Now, first and important thing of a deer, it should run faster because it have to escape from the predators. So first thing that it can run faster because it has to escape from the predators. Two, it has strong teeth, and these strong teeth, it helps in chewing hard stems. The incisors, which are having the strong teeth. Now it has long ears to hear the movements of a predator. Four, eyes it has eyes at the side of the head. It doesn't have in front. It has at the side of the head, which allows to look in all directions for danger. So due to the eyes which are side of its head, it can see all around its body, whatever is happening all around its body. It can look in all directions without turning its head. So if it turns its head, the prey Oh my gosh, the predator may know that it has sensed him or her. So that's why it has its like eyes here, so it can like look all around its body, whatever, for all in all directions, for danger, something danger is happening or not. Because it has such long ears to hear the movements of predators. So whenever it hears the predator, it immediately, yeah, the eye starts looking in all directions. You can see it's a deer. Now let's learn about predator and prey. I was constantly using these two words. So a predator eats the prey. Now what's a predator? Something that eats a prey. What's a prey? Something that is a food of a predator. Now the hunter is the predator, and the one who is hunted by the predator is the prey. Now here you can see that. What is that? A lioness, I guess. Yeah, because it looks like a lioness. I'm thinking it's a lioness, okay? A lioness is a predator and it's hunting for a deer. And this deer is the prey. As the picture is so fast, that's not even like a deer's face, but I'm assuming it's a deer. Now let's learn about the second one. We have learned about the terrestrial habitats. In that we have learned 3 habitats like the desert, mountain region and grasslands. Now we're going to learn about aquatic habitat. The first aquatic habitat we're going to learn about is the oceans. So that's the friendly ocean sometimes becomes very dangerous. Now let's learn about aquatic animals. Now first of all, aquatic animals have this, like they are streamlined, it means boat shaped body. They have streamlined body for easy movements in water. Because of that, the tip, you have seen a fish. If you didn't, okay, fine, but in a fish it is like a boat shape, and the front part, it helps to cut through the water to swim. It helps to swim in the water movement, yeah, as it says, for easy movement in water. 2, it has gills for respiration because it doesn't have lungs. So you can see whenever a fish is outside, you just got a fish from the ocean, and yeah, when it's outside, it doesn't out. Oh my gosh, on land, you can see how the fish, like, yeah, it just constantly moves its body. It's like, shivering or moving like that, because it cannot have the air coming in. When also we don't get oxygen, we say like something like that. So exactly, even the leaf also tap tap tap. It's just, I don't know what you call that. Okay, yeah, something like that, because it's not able to. Yeah, it also takes in oxygen, but gills. That is the thing. Gills, lungs. That's the difference. Third, its body is protected by scales. Now, what are scales? Those tiny, tiny ones. Actually, you have to zoom in to see the scales. You see, those are the scales, and that is a gills. Those are gills. Now let's learn about blowholes. Now, dolphins and whales have nostrils to breathe air from atmosphere called blowholes. Sorry, there's not a gap between atmosphere and called. Really sorry. The thing is that dolphins and whales, they don't have gills. First of all, they don't have gills. They have lungs. They're exactly like us. But how are they able to survive in the water? That's why we can see dolphins and whales coming out constantly. They come constantly outside the water to breathe in oxygen, and they store it for a amount of time. Now these are blowholes. These things are blowholes, which helps them to take in water and release. You have seen a whale. Sometimes the whale, from its back, the water just splashes out, just like those. That, because that is the, you can say that's the water which it's carrying, or something like oxygen or carbon dioxide happening there. Now let's learn about ponds and lakes, our second aquatic habitat. Now I'm going to show you some of the water plants or aquatic plants which live in which are in lake and ponds. Now some have roots fixed in the soil. Now the roots which are fixed in the soil, such as lotus and vallisneria. Like lotus, yeah, you can see it above itself, but the root of it is just completely so long that it fixes it. Its root is and the waterbed, and it's floating up upwards. So you can see this. The next, the other one is a vallisneria. Now some are floating. Now the floating ones are like salvinia, water hyacinth, pistia. Now let's learn about in vallisneria. The ribbon-shaped leaves can bend in water to prevent uprooting. So the ribbon-shaped leaf, you can see how are the leaves. They are ribbon-shaped, and the ribbon-shaped leaves can bend into the water to prevent the uprooting of the plant. Next, we're going to learn a few of the adaptations. Now, stem of lotus is hollow, long, and it's very light. Next is leaves are disc-shaped. Now, the leaves are like in a manner of disc-shaped. And one more thing is the lotus's leaves, they don't have stomata on the downside, underside of the plant. It has on the upper side of the plant, the stomata. Because the upper side is floating, the downside is in the water. That's why. Now, leaves and flowers float on water. Leaves have waxy coating to prevent water stagnation. If you don't know what is that, it's just not having the water to stay on it. Okay. So you can see the water the leaves and the lotus there. Now leaf stalk is filled with air to help floating. The leaf stalk is filled with air, which helps it to float. But if it's not filled with air, it will definitely sink. Now, there are also some plants which are submerged into the water, such as hydrilla plant. And these plants are very important for cleansing of the underwater. Now let's learn about frogs. Now frogs can breathe in water and land. These are amphibians. Now they have webbed feet to swim in water. They have strong back legs to take long leaps. You can see the back leg right there. And they have sticky tongue to catch their insects. Webbed feet. You can see their back legs, and they have sticky tongue to catch insects. Now let's learn about characteristics of a living things. First of all living things need food. Food is the source of energy. So each and every living organism in this world needs food. 2, living things grow. They don't stay in a single position. If you take my chair right here, it doesn't grow. Okay, it doesn't grow after a period of time or something like that. But if you take me, I am when I was a baby, I was different. Now I'm different because I have grown in height, I've grown in weight, and all. So living things grow. Next is third one. Living things respire. Now both plants and animals do respiration. During respiration, oxygen is used and carbon dioxide is released. So O2 is coming in and CO2 is going out. That's a lung. And water flows in through. That's actually fish gills. How do fish take in this? Is that water flows in through mouth, and water flows over gills, then out. Now, the fourth thing is living things respond to stimuli. Now, stimuli is nothing but insects like cockroach move away from light. And some insects are attracted by light. You can see. Yeah, actually, things like when you go to your grandmom's village, completely village. There you can, if you have at the night, if the lights are on, you can see insects like moths kind of things. They just attract to the light, they just all in a group, they actually like fly near the light. They actually sit there or be there until the lights off. When the lights off, they just go. You can also do like when you go to a dark area in your village itself on a torchlight. If you're on a torchlight, you can see if little insects coming. And when you're off the torchlight, they just go away. So that means they're attracted by light. And some of like cockroaches and all, they are scared of light. So they move away from light. So such responses are called stimuli. They respond to the stimuli. Not only animals, not only us, we also respond to stimuli, because whenever it's heat, like we actually, not heat. Yeah, you're boiling something in your mom is boiling water, and suddenly you don't know anything about that. You are just watching your mobile phone, and suddenly your finger just goes in. Immediately you remove it out, and this sudden thing, we are responding to stimuli. So this is called responding of stimuli. Not only animals, not only us, even plants too respond to light. They respond to stimuli. Like some flowers, like water lily, blooms at night, and lotus blooms in daylight. And leaves of a touch me not plant droops when touched. And one more thing, the thing is that you can just see, you keep it in a dark place. You plant a plant, and after a few days, keep near your window, and you can see it is till after a few days or just one day, you can see it's tilting to the window. Then what? It's responding to stimuli, because the sunlight comes from the window, so it just means that it's responding to stimuli. Thank you. So as this was a very long presentation, even I'm tired of just talking, and doing all the things. Actually, I guess we don't need a quiz for this, because already this thing is long enough. So, guys, I hope you learned a lot of things here. We learned this was actually a longest presentation, and and yeah, this presentation we have learned about the living organisms, and yeah, first of all, we learned about what's a habitat, what's adaptation. In that, we have learned terrestrial habitats. In terrestrial habitats, we have learned about desert, grasslands, and mountain regions. Then we have learned about aquatic habitats. In aquatic habitats, we have learned about, one second. Yeah, we have learned about the oceans, ponds, and lakes. Next, we have learned even the animals and all, right. Next, we have learned about what are the characteristics a living thing needs. And we have learned that living things need food, living things need, they do respiration, they respond to stimuli, and all those. So guys, that's it for today's video, guys. See you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share with your fellow friends, subscribe to my channel. T for the show, T for talent. Bye, guys.